Scott here with ArtistsNetwork, and I want to welcome you to this course on linear perspective. So the objective of this course is to give you the skills necessary so that you can apply linear perspective in your work as you need to. It's important for you to know that perspective is just a tool. It's something that you can use or reject as the artwork dictates. It's up to you whether or not you want to apply this in your own work. But if you don't know how it works, you won't have that choice. So this is really helpful to develop that sense. And my hope is that you'll walk away from this course with an intuitive sense for perspective so that you can look at something in your own work and know when it's off and know how to correct it. We can take linear perspective to a variety of levels, from something that's very basic to something that's very complex. And what I'm hoping here is that you'll walk away knowing the fundamentals of it. And then this will provide a base for you to jump off of and dig into perspective as much or as little as you want. There are a few keys to success I'd like to point out as we get started. First is you want to be willing to do work that will not be seen in the final drawing. A lot of what happens in perspective is at the beginning stages. There are light lines that you make that will be hidden in the final version. So you have to be willing to do a lot of work and knowing that you're not going to see any of it at the end. You also have to be willing to take the time to do these exercises. I have observation exercises as well as mechanical drawing exercises. So you're actually going to be doing work and you're going to be going out into the world and observing how perspective functions. And so it's important that you do these exercises. Now, I want you to go slow as we do these exercises as well. If you take it slow and you go step by step, you will retain that information much more concretely. You'll be able to internalize it faster if you actually take your time doing the work and really focus on what you're doing. Thinking out loud, saying what you're doing to yourself while you're working can be a great way to really internalize these concepts. And I want you to think about this process like putting together a puzzle. You're gathering information about the subject and you're moving those pieces around, allowing that image to form on the table as you're working. So let's take a look at the materials here. It's really simple, and I don't want you to go out there and spend a lot of money on the materials. Paper and pencil is all that you need. If you have simple 8.5 by 11 printer paper, that'll work. But if you can go larger, that's better. Here I have an 18 by 24 sheet of paper, so I'll be doing some exercises on that. I also have some 11 by 14 sheets of paper. I have a smaller sketchbook. I have a variety of pencils, an ebony pencil and an 8B. I like dark, soft marks. It helps me to see what I'm doing, and it gives me a nice variety of line weights. I also have a white pencil when I'm going to be working on darker toned paper. A rubber eraser, a kneaded eraser is essential for lifting up your underdrawing or correcting mistakes. And it's important to have both of them handy because they are both useful in different ways. And the final thing is a straight edge. Having a straight edge can be really handy to correct and straighten out some of your marks, but I also want to be clear that it creates a very mechanical line, and I don't recommend it for all drawing. For the purposes of learning and understanding perspective, I think it's a helpful tool, but for a lively and energetic work of art, I can find that it makes static and rigid marks that aren't really helpful. So I just want to keep that in mind as we're working, that again, this is just a tool for you to apply. So get your materials ready. We're going to dig in. I want to start by talking about some of the limitations that we face when trying to understand perspective, because it works for some people but not for others, and for some of us we really have to work hard at it, and I want to describe why that is and what we can do to get you out of that rut.